Here is said tweet. There we go. Partners in crime. That's just all he really Batman. Okay, good. Well, I mean, that's going to get headlines. That's going to get people talking. So, look, I think that this was it was interesting that, I mean, look, a lot of people, myself included, saying, I don't know. Superman, and because Superman's going to do very well. Superman's going to do very, very well. Are they going to have two Batmen walking around? It seems like with that cryptic tweet. Well, then Winston, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
A, will there be two Batmen? Or B, will Robert Pattinson join the MCU? Because I'm going to tell you, MCU, DCU. I'm going to tell you that I think that this movie is going to happen now. If you're out there tweeting this with this script, you're one of two things. One, you got the okay to do it, or James Gunn's going, oh, F. Which I don't think is happening. I don't think.
Not when James Gunn has been a staunch Matt Reeves defender. Yeah. I mean, my favorite quote by anybody in entertainment in the last year was James Gunn's being like, "Yo, how about we get off of Matt Reeves?" Like, I thought that was genius, and so there's no doubt in my mind the first person he called being like, "Yo, James, we're good. We've got our draft in. We're ready to go." And then they were like, "Okay, great. Let's do a little pop something. Do you want to do it yourself so that it's coming out of you?" I think that is absolutely the right move, and I would bet all the money I have that he ran this by Gunn first.
Of course. I mean, yeah, because they're buddies. You know what I mean? It's like, and like you said, James Gunn is a very big supporter of Matt Reeves, and he knows that the audience is a big supporter of Matt Reeves, right? So, look, if you can make some money off of this thing now, that's probably what they're going to do. I still think it's going to be confusing for audiences if it's too close, but
so that was your other question. Do I think Pattinson's going to be in the DCU? I think it will depend on once Gunn has read the script. I don't know if he's already done that, one way or the other. And I think it might just depend on what direction they're going with that story. If it's like, is this really going to be super confusing because we're doing X, Y, and Z with this, or do we let it go and then go with somebody else?
Yeah, I mean, Muschietti's still signed on, but I don't think that's going to happen. It's just, if you have Superman, and we just talked about this whole thing with the DC and how it's doing this Game of Thrones thing, Superman will be involved with the Supergirl aspect of it all. Obviously, Green Lantern is a bit tied into it, and then the Lantern show will happen. Wonder Woman will come out next. So if you can get Matt Reeves' Batman out within, the next year and a half or so, you could hold off on the DCU Batman for another 2.5, 3 years, which is still, it's a long time, but you're essentially playing the end game. You're the long game, I should say, rather. And if you do that, plus it's like, look, we're taking our time. We're building this thing out. We've got Superman, we got Supergirl. We're doing this Wonder Woman movie now. Matt Reeves is finishing up his trilogy off to the side, the same way that the Joker did. And then we're going to bring him in. And it's like, okay, let's see, because I could be 100% wrong that the audience might actually, I could be right and wrong at the same time. The audience, the mainstream audience, could be confused about two Batman, but the second part of that is they might not give a crap.
That is more my thought, is right. They might not give a crap. I also think, because here's the thing that I'm trying to think of a modern example of where this happened, and the one that pops to mind immediately is Quicksilver. And so you obviously had Fox Quicksilver and you had Avengers Quicksilver. Now, mind you, Avengers Quicksilver lasted what, a movie? Mm-hmm. So versus the Fox one continued to go. So there's also a world where maybe part of why the Batman 2 took so long is James goes, okay, we're not going to cancel your ish. Obviously, it made a lot of money. It's very good. I got your back, etc. But also, I need to kind of start my Batman story. So it's no longer a trilogy. You got this second movie. So do whatever you need to do. They could break it into a part, like a part 1 and a part 2. I can see that, but it might be a world where they're like, wrap that up, B. And so
if you're going with 2, if you're going with number 2, you're going the full route, because we all know that the second one is going to make money. It's going to make money. And if you're going to make money, if you're going to go and you're going to go all out, you go all out, you finish it up. You're not just gonna say, okay, you got 2 and then you're done.
But I bring that up in the way of like, I think about, I don't love how the second Matrix and then therefore the third Matrix ultimately ended up, but those were one movie that they split into 2. Same thing, you could make the argument with Infinity War and Endgame. Nobody was going to sit through a 6-hour movie, but that was one movie that they just broke into 2. I could genuinely see a world where it's like, all right, I got you. Let me hammer out both of these movies. Here's your one giant script, and again, we just split the movies in twain.
Yeah, I will agree to disagree on that one. I think that if there's going to be if they give him the second movie, he's getting the third, and I think it'll end with a cliffhanger. It was always meant to be a trilogy. I think it's going to be a trilogy. I think James Gunn goes all in on it, and you just hope that the audience. You got to establish your Batman in the DCU in a very different way, and you got to establish him kind of big. And you got to just hope, like I said, yeah, the audience goes, wait, who? There's 2 Batman, and then their nerdy friend says, yeah, but actually it's this. Oh, okay, cool. That's really where yes, you can. The audience, I still will stand by. I think the audience will be confused, but the other question will be, will it matter? Is the main question.
The other thing that helps, I know that obviously time will age people, but the idea is that we had year 2 Batman in the Batman, and I think this next one is supposed to be like year 3 or 4, something like that. It's not that far off. So all that being said, we already talked about the Batman that has Damian is supposed to be older. So the other thing might work in there, if they stick with that storyline, the one thing that would make that easier is, okay, well, that's young Batman. That's a separate side story versus this. Versus if they're the same age, then I can see people maybe being a little bit.
Well, yeah, well, then you'd have to get actually to that point. You would actually have to then get rid of that older Batman because Pattinson ain't going to be young. He's 40 years old. He ain't going to be young by the time
they might have to continue to age him down if you're keeping him on the younger end of things.
Or you're writing a different story now, and then you age down the Batman that in the DCU, and you go with the younger 32, 33-year-old Batman. So the fact of the matter is, Matt Reeves said, shush, here's my script. It's done. I turned it in. Stop talking about it. Or talk about it more, but talk about it positively. And that's what just happened. So Matt Reeves turns in his script. What say you? I want to see this conversation. I want to see it in the Clips channel. I want to see it in the live chat. I want to see it on the replay. What does this mean for the DCU in general? Have a healthy debate. Let's do it. I love True Classic. That's how I'm going to start this. I have fallen in love with them. I have so many new things, whether it comes to t-shirts, whether it is sweatpants, things I go to the gym for. I love it. I absolutely love them. At True Classic, the mission goes beyond fit and fabric. It's about helping guys show up with confidence and purpose. The gear fits right, it feels amazing, and it's priced so guys everywhere can step into confidence without stepping out of their budget. What really sets them apart, it's not just about the fit or the fabric, it's the intention behind everything that they do. True Classic was built to make an impact, whether it's helping men show up better in their daily lives, giving back to undeserved communities, or making people laugh with ads that don't take themselves too serious. They lead with purpose. So I have been loving True Classic. I got them. I've got a bunch of things that, again, like I said, shirts, pants, and I told my wife the other day, I said, I don't know if I want to go anywhere else right now. True Classic. I mean, I'm telling you, I went out to go out with some friends. I was wearing this True Classic t-shirt. They fit really nice. They just they're comfortable. It's good material. I love it. And you don't have to worry about it. Just get rid of the overpriced designer brands. Ditch the disposable fast fashion. True Classic is built for comfort. It's built to last, and it's built to give back. You can grab them anywhere, Target, Costco. You can head to trueclassic.com/Kristian. That's where you really should go, and get hooked up today. You will love it. I have been swearing by it. I'm telling you, this is me telling you straight up. I love this brand. I love True Classic.